Hi, good evening. Thank you, Sir Kent, for the first part of our Chapter 18 report. Now I am Perla Blanco Año Nuevo. I will continue the report on the topic of war, Chapter 18. The kinds of warfare. It may happen in land, sea, on air. Naval warfare, torpedoes, and the misuse of submarines are mostly used as well as the aerial warfare, the launching of the projectiles and explosives by using a balloons. Those are played a major role in the last two world wars. The belligerent occupation. Belligerent that exercises authority over it until its forces voluntarily withdraw or expelled by the enemy. Their occupation is just limited only to the area and be effectively exercised while it does not result in transfer of or suspension of the sovereignty of the legitimate government. Although it may at the moment be unable to exercise it because of that belligerent occupant, the occupant may promulgate new laws, non-political as well as political, provided it does not contravene to the generally accepted principles of international law. Post liminium. The right of post limini or post liminium is that in which a persons or things taken by the enemy are restored to the former state, who are then actually in the power of the nation to which they belong. Jus post liminium, the reinstatement of the authority of the displaced government once control of the enemy's lost over the territory affected. For example, if a private land belongs to Jose, eventually confiscated by Protasio, the enemy occupant, and sold to Rizal, Jose can recover the property after the occupant of enemy Protasio without having to pay Rizal the purchase price. Of course, the exemption is whatever taxes collected by the enemy occupant cannot be again demanded by the legitimate government. Non-hostile intercourse. Flag truce. It's carried by an individual authorized to enter into communications with the other country. Cartels. Agreement to regulate intercourse during war on such matters as the postal and the telegraphic communications. They have also the passport. It is a written permission given by the belligerent government or its authorized agent to the subjects of the enemy state to travel generally in a belligerent territory. The safe conduct. It is a pass given to enemy subject or to an enemy vessel allowing the passage between such defined points. Safeguard. It is the protection granted by a commanding officer either to enemy persons or property within his command of responsibility. A license to trade. It is a written permission given by the competent authority to individual to carry on trade even though there is a state of war. When the hostilities suspend. Suspension of arms. There's the gathering of wounded persons and also the burial. What's the purpose? Suspension of arms of military. Armistice, a suspension of all hostilities within a certain area, local aspect, or entire region of war, general. The purpose is political. Ceasefire is the unconditional stoppage of hostilities by an order of an international body like the United Nations. The purpose is employing peaceful means of setting the differences between the belligerents. Truce. Ceasefire with conditions attached. Capitulation. It is the surrendering of military forces the places, the districts, in accordance with the rules of military honor. When the war terminates, it's by simple cessation of hostilities, by the conclusion of negotiated treaty or peace, or by defeat of one of the belligerents, followed by a dictated treaty of peace or annexation of the conquered country. The aftermath of war. The result is the consequences of war is implied judgment, the right or wrong, that the vanquished belligerent is the guilty party that caused that such hostilities. The International Criminal Court shall have the power to exercise its jurisdiction over persons for the most serious crimes of international concern, such as crimes of genocide, is an intent to destroy in whole or part a national, ethical, racial, religious group. Other is a crimes against humanity, widespread systematic attack directed against any civilian. War crimes. It's an act against person, willful killing, torture, inhuman treatment, willfully causing sufferings, and a crime of aggression, a planning, a preparation, initiation, and execution by a person in a position. The president of the International Criminal Court is the president of Poland, Piotr Hapmonski, where he took his office March 11, 2021 until year 2024. Thank you. And now, I'll give now the floor to Chapter 19, Neutrality, to be discussed by Mr. Leo Bulalakaw and Miss Eloisa Espeña. Salamat po.